Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Canadian Shield. My name is Sterling, and I'm your host. So the C-69 was being debated in the House of Commons as the Liberals are hoping that it'll drive a wedge between the Conservatives and their massive base. And the fact of the matter is that it's now gone up by 2 points. Nobody believes that the more taxation is the solution to the problem. And everybody knows that the reason those people, the richest people in Canada are the richest people in Canada is because they know how to circumvent all of the rules. They got accountants and lawyers who look after that kind of stuff. They will sell off any excess properties that they can't control, and they will move all of their money to another country, and they will enrich themselves there instead of here. They will move all of their money into trust funds. They will move all of their money into offshore accounts. And there's no denying that. Who will get harmed by this process is, of course, the people who are selling their parents' house, who are selling, get a little windfall because they made a quick and small little investment. It's not the super wealthy that are going to end up paying this tax. It's only at very best the upper middle class is going to end up paying it, because they're going to have had a property that they purchased, or they're going to have something that their parents left to them, like a house or a condo or something that they're going to try and want to sell. And as soon as they sell it, they're going to get mugged because it won't be their primary residence. And the Conservatives know it. Everybody knows it. However, Pierre Poilievre came in to speak to the issue, and I think that what he said was quite informative and educational and very direct and to the point. And as Canadians, we should all listen to it because it makes perfect sense. Before I get into it, I would encourage you to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this channel with your friends. I really want to hit bigger numbers with my stuff, so any assistance that you want to give me is appreciated. All right, let's listen to Pierre Poilievre explain his position.
9 years ago, the Prime Minister promised you that he would spend like a drunken sailor, but that there would be a rich guy on a hill somewhere who would pay the price, and the middle class would prosper. Well, how's that promise playing out? Well, according to his own video 2 weeks ago, the rich are twice as rich. Their net worth has gone from $6 trillion to $11 trillion. And how's the famous middle class that we don't hear so much about anymore? Well, 76% of people who don't own homes believe they never will. Young people who don't have help from their parents cannot own homes almost anywhere in this country today. 1 in 5 are skipping meals. In Toronto, 1 in 10 are going to a food bank, a city now with 256 homeless encampments, 50 of them added just in the last 6 weeks alone. This is the help that for middle-class people and those working hard to join it. Mr. Speaker, the rich have gotten richer 9 years after this Prime Minister promised that higher taxes, spending, and debt would make things fair. Look around the country today. The Prime Minister admits life sucks. In his own words, how is that fair? Mr. Speaker, now his solution is to bring in a giant, job-killing tax on healthcare, homes, farms, and small businesses. So he wants to tax away doctors when we have a doctor shortage. He wants to tax home builders when we have a housing shortage. He wants to tax farmers when we have a food price crisis. And he wants to tax small businesses when our economy is already shrinking. The results of this approach already have been shown. Our economy is shrinking and has been shrinking for 2 years. We've had the worst economic growth in the G7 per capita since the Prime Minister took office, and since 2019, our economy has shrunk 2%, while the American economy has grown by 8%. Meanwhile, we have the worst housing price inflation in all of the G7, the second worst in the entire OECD after the Prime Minister doubled housing costs. This is exactly the opposite of what the Prime Minister promised would happen if he brought in more taxes. So who will pay this new tax? The good news is if you're a billionaire, you won't pay it. The Prime Minister has given you 2 full months to sell your assets and get your money out of Canada to go build a business south of the border or in some faraway place. So who will be left behind to pay the bills? Well, People selling long-term assets, like the wonderful grandmother who tried to divide up her farmland so her kids could have a small property to live on and is getting hit with a $40,000 tax bill, or the 300,000 businesses, most of them small businesses, and indirectly all of their workers who will see long-term pay cuts or stalled wages as a result of their owners' inability to invest. Those people who, like taxi drivers and others who saved up inside a company, will pay higher taxes on every single new dollar they invest in our economy. Raising taxes, punishing our healthcare providers, our home builders, our small businesses, and farmers will only drive wages down and drive the cost of living up. That's why common sense Conservatives will do exactly the opposite. Within 60 days of becoming Prime Minister, my government will name a tax reform task force of entrepreneurs, inventors, farmers, and workers, but no lobbyists, to design a bring-it-home tax cut that will, one, bring home production and paychecks with lower taxes on work, hiring, and making stuff. Two, bring home fairness by reducing the share of the tax burden paid by the poor and the working class while cutting back on tax-funded corporate welfare and cracking down on overseas tax havens. And three, bring home less paperwork by simplifying the tax rules. Mr. Speaker, we will make this a country again where hard work is rewarded, where those who spend sleepless nights mortgaging their homes, wondering how they will pay the bills, will be richly rewarded for their sacrifice in building the economy. A country based on meritocracy, not aristocracy, where you get ahead by working hard, not having a family trust fund like the Prime Minister. A country where if you work hard, you earn a powerful paycheck that buys affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods. That future is for the common people, the common sense of the common people, united for our common home. Your home, my home, our home. Let's bring it home.
No, I think that was very definitive. There's no arguing that he laid out a proper plan there. Every time you hear the Liberals or the NDP say to yourself, they're not telling you the truth, because they're not, because he does have a plan. The Conservatives have a plan. They've laid out every plan that there is. Now, the only thing about the plan that he just said there, I would like to see them take on the telecommunications a little bit more. I think that Canadians need to stop paying so much. It's embarrassing to be the most expensive cell phones in the world. It's embarrassing to be the most expensive internet in the world. It's embarrassing. And we should stop letting our companies drain us of our spending money. Just because we have it doesn't mean that we should be giving it to them. I would like to hear a little bit more tackling of the monopolies. I think that that's something that Canadians need to talk about and need to take head on. All right, I'm going to wrap here. I want to thank you all for listening, and I would appreciate it if you would like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this channel with all of your socials. I'll talk to you next time.